You can't choose values that are removed from your core personality as an entrepreneur.
But we were having a hard time saying what we needed to say.
You told us we had to speak our truths, and you were like, okay, the values need to be defined, but only if all of us here are willing to be radically candid with what we're going to say, but we have to speak our truths. Welcome to Heart and Head Work, the podcast for women who want to lead with strategy and soul.
I'm Tessa, the people connector who embraces vulnerability and dreams big.
And I'm Rocky, the strategist who thrives on logic and turns vision into action.
We combined our superpowers and founded Maven, a community that empowers women.
Including Maven District, the largest collective of women-owned small businesses in the world.
This podcast is for women like you, building something real and wanting more than just business advice.
You'll hear honest conversations, practical tools, and personal stories about what it actually takes to build purpose-driven businesses.
If you're building with your whole self, heart and head, this is a space for you.
Join us on the journey.
Welcome back, lovelies. Jen, welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me.
We're so excited. Jen is Maven's COO and so incredible in her role. She's had, before this, I can't wait for her to touch on this, but she's had every kind of job you could think of. She's an incredible cook. No, yes, we have to go back to that. Every time we meet someone, she's like, oh yeah, I used to work for them. Oh yeah, I used to work there. It's quite interesting going around Salt Lake City with her.
Small Lake City is her domain.
Yes. Yeah. So she was born and raised here, and she's very involved in the city on boards and is very keyed into what's going on. You want to know what's going on in Salt Lake? Jen probably knows. And not only that, is she also incredible cook, listener, friend, and peer. She definitely shares her love through food.
Oh my God, she is
I love when she loves me through food. We're really lucky.
Well, but firstly, Jen.
Welcome, Jen.
Hi, that was such a great intro. I'm feeling really good about myself right now.
Jen, you is the one for you.
Oh, I don't love that chant.
Really? It's a great chant.
Why don't you love it?
I am a very behind the scenes person, and that chant makes me feel very in front of people.
Like we see you.
The podcasters can't see that I'm
surprised
we with my eyes.
we videotape this so they can't actually see you.
Right, technology. Got it. Okay.
I learned the hard way. You're not alone.
Okay, Jen.
Yeah.
Those were some of the things we love about you, but I want more. Can you set the stage? Who is Jen? Not including Maven, because we're going to talk about that, of course. Who is Jen?
Oh, I should not be surprised that Tessa came in first with this question. It's like coming in hot.
Always. Thanks for loving me for it.
So,
who is Jen?
Oh, so I was born and raised in Salt Lake. I spent my whole childhood thinking Salt Lake is not my home. These are not my people. And what I really came to realize is I had just not met my people, and I had not found my community. And, so I spent a lot of my college years trying to figure that out. And then I realized I just wanted to be part of all the communities. I wanted to be with all the people and find out about all the things. And so I worked in a lot of community access services and community-based groups. Took a small stint into the corporate world. And at some point, got presented with this opportunity to join the Maven team, which seemed like the perfect blend of using my head skills and applying it into community-based work, which was really the dream. And here I am.
I like that Jen said that Maven found her. But actually, in retrospect, I think of always like, oh, I'm so thankful Jen found us. I don't actually feel like we did anything to outreach to Maven. To Jen, I feel like
I think we begged her for the job.
Okay. Well, I don't beg.
I mean, I do. I'm not above it. I just thought she was perfect. And you know our meet cute story where we knew. It wasn't meet cute, but for me, it was the moment that I knew Jen was Jen, you was the one for you or for me.
Jen played the long game. She was
did.
smart.
We knew her for several months before she showed up to a party with, okay, we always get mixed up here. Not reindeer, not snowmen, polar bear?
Polar bears.
Polar bear marshmallows that she had constructed for a holiday party. And I thought, oh my goodness, if anyone can pay that much attention to a tiny piece of a party, that kind of detail is where I want our people to be thinking. And so that was the moment. I think Rocky and I were texting that night, like, oh, we need Jen.
Well, she had shown the care for Maven in so many different ways up until that point. But I think that we were maybe a little blind to the little moments. It took like the comprehensive moments. And then those damn polar bears were the edge of it is right in front of us. Yeah. The answer to what we need next is right in front of us, because we were ready to expand to a new team member. And man, we needed someone who was in the details and who cared so much. Yeah. And that is Jen in a nutshell.
Oh, you
Jen,
guys.
she's the most caring. I mean, come on. If our girls had a favorite, if the Maven team could choose one and the rest of us would
go away,
you know who they're going to keep.
They're not going to choose either of us. That's for sure.
I don't think that's true, because I actually think it takes all three of us to be one.
What a great segue into our topic for today. See, and Jen is even showing her value yet again.
Mm-hmm. What are we talking about today, Rock?
Keeping us on topic. I mean, like, don't ask me, because Jen's the one that's aware of how to. Jen, what are we talking about today?
Oh, I thought we were just coming to talk about me.
We are.
Oh, wait. No. Yes. Okay. Got it.
We are. So today's topic, because we are bringing in Jen, who is a part of our executive team here at Maven. Maven's mission, values, ethos, everything that we have created could not have been created without Jen. She was our missing tripod, that triangular piece that made, the counterbalance between two business partners a lot stronger when we were able to bring it in. And so to give you guys some background, our wonderful listeners who are still listening, which bless you. Maven is a community that empowers women, and we are constantly trying to build spaces that are centered around community to empower women. It's something that sets us apart from other real estate developers. And the whole reason for doing this endeavor that is challenging and super fun at the same time is because we really believe that women should be celebrated, and we want to nurture a community, particularly that supports women dreaming big, embracing failure. And the goal to that is we want future generations, like Tessa's children, Jen's nieces, and our team to inherit a more equitable future as women. And when I think of Jen in present tense, we just recently developed our values. We kind of always had them lingering in the background.
Refined, yeah.
Yeah, we had them for a long time. But we didn't really vocally speak with them. We didn't cohesively create a language that we could share it with between the three of us and our team. And that's what I think we should talk about today, is sort of, how we got those values, how we now work with our team and develop them and integrate that into the culture that we've built, because Jen is an essential piece.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jen, do you want to tell us what our values are and why they're so important and how we got to them? Because again, I think it was in all of our all of our subconscious communication, but it just wasn't at the forefront until you gave us that beautiful push.
Oh, so glad that it feels beautiful. I think, when you first start having those discussions, it feels really scary. And I'll start with our values, love, curiosity. And it took us a long time, I think, to settle on those things. Initially,
three differing opinions.
Three differing opinions, that changed every couple of hours the more we talked about it. But something I really thought about when I was participating in the process is I think that we very often we felt like we were limiting ourselves when we tried to refine the values. And I have this reminder all the time, right, that we can't be everything to everyone, right? So we have to pick. And so I think we did our best to find the words that allowed us to encompass and really shore up what we felt was most important to us, which was building a community that empowered women. And so we knew that after playing around with a lot of words, that these things were the things that we always consistently came to the table with, and they were the things that would make everything else happen.
Can you share with the audience, because they don't have background of this, why did you bring to our attention, i.e. Tessa and my attention, that the values were a missing piece of what we were doing? Because we were working on mission, we were working on vision, and you were the one that said, wait, guys, stop. Let's go separate ourselves away from the rest of the team and dive into this definition.
Yeah, I think that as we were in our next glow up phase, when we were figuring out what Maven wanted to do and where we wanted to go, I think we've always been really clear about what the core mission is, right? And like Rocky said, we knew what the values were. Like, we were always talking around them, but we had never named them. And I think it was so important to really identify what those pillars were, to name it, right? And those are the things that we knew, I felt, would help us unify our team. We would all then be working not just for a common mission, but in a common methodology. Right? We all show these things in a different way, but if we could name it, then we would know how we were working. We could give our team the ability to work within those words, those values. We could define that for our tenants and our community, and then set out a plan to execute those things.
She's also glossing over the fact that Tessa and I were arguing quite a bit, and we needed a moderator, a mediator, and in between, someone who was seeing things not so much from the inside of the problems that we were having. I don't want to gloss over that. I think that's an important thing, that you were like, yo, you too. Let's get in a room. Let's figure this shit out, which is what we did. We went to a cabin and we cried, like Tessa said.
There were so many tears.
I cried.
It's good. I think that was needed, though, right? Like, sometimes everybody has a different way of dealing with things, right? And we had done everything at that point. We had meetings to talk about it. We had separated. We'd come back to it. And at some point, something that we talk about a lot is that radical candor. And we just couldn't get to that point where we love and care about each other so much, and we care about what we're doing, but we were having a hard time saying what we needed to say.
Yeah, you called it. You told us we had to speak our truths. I remember when we started going in circles a little bit, and you were like, okay, the values need to be defined, but only if all of us here are willing to be radically candid with what we're going to say. But we have to speak our truths.
Yeah.
That was big for me, because I don't feel like I think I had been attempting to do it, but I was still holding back because I didn't want to be hurtful.
Yeah.
None of us wanted to hurt
No.
each other.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're all really tender-hearted in a sense. Like we've been taking care of each other for a long time. And so sometimes that radical candor, as much as we have talked about practicing it, it was getting in the way, and we're holding on to things we weren't fully saying them. And now with the lens of the values we have, love, curiosity, it's a lot easier to speak through, hey, what you said doesn't, it landed a little funny for me. It didn't seem like we're being curious in that moment. Can we revisit? And it's given us like we can still be soft and tender with each other, but we can still be a lot more honest, I think. And that is what these values and creating the values has helped us with decisions. It's helped us with our relationships. It's helped with our communication. It's just like clarified a lot for us. And so thanks, Jen, for helping us do that.
Again,
Because it was hard.
Team effort, for sure. And we definitely would not have gotten there if it were just one of us trying to figure that out, right? I mean, we had to be in agreement that this is how we wanted to move Maven, and this is what we wanted, how we wanted to build our team and our community. And so thank you for going through that.
I want to ask something, because I think it's one of the biggest lessons that you've ever taught, but I think it really helped us get on this journey. And you mentioned it, you can't be everything to everyone, or you'll be nothing to no one. We love it so much. It's on a wall here at Maven. And it's one of my favorite lessons from Jen. But can you tell us where you learned that, or why you believe that? Because for me, it was like, it hit me it hit me like lightning, and I had to immediately write it down and stop our meeting because it felt so true.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to take credit for that. And honestly, I can't remember the first time I heard it or who taught it to me. But I am by nature a little bit of a people pleaser. So I really want everybody to have the best experience possible in whatever they're doing, right? I want everyone to be able to show up as they are, who they are in the space they want to show up in. And I realized that in me trying to help create that or foster that, I was trying to be everything to everyone. I was trying to be like the Jill of all trades. And that comes with some consequences. Like it's really nice for people. It's really nice for how I might feel about myself. But I think it also then loses the value in what you're delivering. And so I don't want to say it becomes meaningless, but this is where I say, when we came up with values, it's not a compromise, right? It's not an either or situation. Just because we chose love and curiosity as the values doesn't mean we don't have a whole lot of other things that we offer our community or that we want to build. It just gives us focus in how we show up for people and how we show up for our community.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. It's so Jen.
Not that I want the whole podcast to be, but the reality is it's getting there.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a lot of humming.
I would love to hear from everybody, because one of the things we went around in circles for, 16 hours probably.
It was
2.5
glorious.
days.
I was not exhausted. I was not feeling frustration.
I was. We had different experiences.
I'm joking.
Didn't mean I wasn't loving you. It just was hard, right?
We should probably let people know that very often when we meet with a feelings wheel, which I didn't realize wasn't a common thing.
Welcome to Maven.
But it's one of the things that allows us to, like, it requires us to show up authentically and be able to identify where we're at and how we're feeling. I don't actually think any of us have trouble feeling, but I do think we very often have trouble naming it because we want to be cautious of each other.
Yes.
And so we work with a feelings wheel.
Which I absolutely love. Yeah, because the culture that we have, our one of our team members, Heather, said it really beautifully the other day that all three of us are people first people. We just do it in our different ways. But when we have created and worked on what Maven should be, it wasn't just from a business standpoint. It was from what kind of team, what kind of people, what kind of community, because again, we're very people first and community first. And because of that, we're trying to integrate at every moment in time. How are our people doing? What do our people need? What does our community need? What is our community looking for? How are they feeling? And so that open dialogue, the emotions wheel as part of our meetings makes so much sense because it puts it all out on the table. And I think we really needed the truth to be the missing piece that Jen reminded us of, yeah, we're all feeling this way, but is that the truthful feeling? Is that the deepest core feeling? And when we started doing that, it was like, dang, this is it. And I would also like to know everybody's definition of
because
our values.
That was hard for us to land on words that described Maven to in our best abilities today, yesterday, and hopefully tomorrow.
Especially because I don't know if you remember what was glaringly obvious to me was I was adamantly against the word love.
2/3 of us were.
And Jen was also in the same boat during this discussion because of the weight of that word and what it meant for us and how it was so different to you. And the one that we agreed on really easily was curiosity. Mm-hmm. So I think it's worthwhile to share. So everybody else has concept of, what is love? What does love mean to you?
Do you want to start, Rocky?
Nope.
Oh, of course, Jen.
No.
Okay.
Tessa,
Jen has to
start.
start.
Well, that's funny.
Welcome to our meeting, Tessa.
Well, love is everything to me. If I'm not in love, loving my life, or loving my people, something is really, really off. And I think one of the reasons it's such an important word, and I kept bringing it up over and over and over, I spent a long time not showing my love because of an old belief I have that I keep returning to, especially in my hardest moments, is that I am too much. But now it leads me and guides me in everything I do. So I push for it.
I would just like to add that one of my favorite things about being in business and in life with you, you can quote me on that, is that you even led with love during this conversation. When Jen and I were struggling to feel like the word love was a match, and it's not even to say that Jen even agrees with it still or whatnot. So I won't speak on that front, but you kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and it's one of the ways in which you push in the best kind of way when you're not too much. You are seeing what maybe I can't see yet, that I really do want love to be the value, but there's some barrier or obstacle in the way. And I'm not going to be able to get there and feel that way until someone shines a little light on it. Like it's just in the dark corner. Because in counter to that, for me, love was pain for the most part. And that's not to say I didn't have some great, amazing relationships and that I don't have them now. But when you said love, it was like, that can't be a value. That's pain. That's pain. Love doesn't always mean what you think it means. And it was a very internal fight. And I relinquished that because I went away from our discussion and was like, man, I really do want it. It's not how I currently feel, but I'm not going to set the value for what I am now. I'm going to set the value for what I want to be. And I wanted love to also be a leading factor. So kudos to that. Jen, help the audience to understand why love was bleh for you.
Oh, I don't know if I would make that sound effect,
You would
but
never make that.
you know, I think I felt that love was the given. So it is in everything we build. And I feel like it's hopefully reflected in everything we do. And I thought, it's everything we do. Why do we need to say it? And then I remembered, you're a really great reminder of this, that sometimes you have to say it. Like, people need to hear it, and people need to be reassured of it, because I think it is such a variable value for people, right? People experience it in such different ways, and they have such a different relationship with it. And I think I released my experience with it, because I thought, what if we are reminding people every day?
You got to touch her while you're saying this.
Oh,
She can't be a floating island over there.
Oh yeah, I won't.
Love Island.
No,
It's Temptation Island, but
no, I don't want to be on either of the.
trademarks.
I don't want to be on either of these shows with you. I love you guys a lot, but I thought, how would we build a community if we're not constantly reminding people how we love them? And it's not just how we show up or what we build or what we do. It's that we get to say to people that we love you, that we love what you're doing, we love and believe in your big dreams, and we love you through your failures, and we love that you've chosen Maven. And I thought, that's so special. And so we do have to say it. And so then it had to be one of our values.
Thanks for getting there, Jen.
what other business has love as like this, beacon? That's abnormal. It's not how business functions. And it has been a catalyst to change everything, every approach that we make. We're people first, love first.
Yeah.
I mean, I
For
think
sure.
everyone's deepest desire is to just be loved, And if we can be a small piece of that, whether it's for them to love themselves or to feel love from us, like, why wouldn't we? This is how we're going to change the world, in my opinion. Life is so hard, but if you can add love and kindness and softness to someone's life, it's the easiest thing to give out.
It's so hard to give it out. No, actually, it's hard to give it to myself. It's actually very easy to give it out.
Yeah. I also think when I think about love, we very often talk about it in terms of the softness of it, right? And I like to also think about it in that we get to do it in a really unconditional way, right? So it's not always easy, and so it's not always fun, but everything we do is hopefully like based in the love we have for what we're building, the team, the community, all of those things. And it means it won't always end up in joy, but it will always be rooted in love, which I think hopefully also makes us different.
Guys, we are.
You see why we love Jen. Oh my gosh, she's our goddamn
Again, we're back to
glue.
the podcast of
There's so much to talk about on love. Anybody else want to add?
It's true. I'm actually surprised that
I'm
Tessa didn't vote to have just a whole episode on love.
Write it down.
It's on my list.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
So what about the next one? Jen?
Curiosity.
Oh, curiosity. Curiosity has always been like a root value for me. I grew up the child of an immigrant mother, which meant that as the oldest child, I spent most of my life navigating the world as an adult, and having to figure a lot of things out. And I think even though I joke a lot about my social capacity. I believe that I love people's stories, and I love what drives people and what people are interested in and what brings them joy. And I think that the more that you are just genuinely curious about people, the more it just makes everything easier, right? Like we ask people all the time, like we say, we'll meet you where you're at all the time. And that, I think that's the root of curiosity, right? Like, because we want to be there with you. We want to learn about you. And I think that's one of the things that makes us special.
One of the things when you were talking about your most adorable childhood.
We probably should be aware of that.
Yeah, we'll stop.
We keep doing it.
It's the
It's the audible agreeance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, okay.
Done.
It's
I'm
cute.
over it now.
We are in love. I think of Jen, when you talk about your childhood, I always want you to tell the story of you, or just the picture of you rollerblading or roller skating at your mom's restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think it's a cute piece of your story. And I think it's like a piece of this curiosity that
this probably rolls into your intro about all of my jobs. I think I had most of my jobs sometimes out of financial or lifestyle necessity, but really because I would see a help wanted sign or a job posting and think, well, that sounds fun. I wonder what that's like. And then I would get a job.
You were taste testing.
I was taste testing. Yeah. I was life testing.
Yes.
Tour de Schniplitz.
But my mom owned a restaurant when I was growing up, and she would let me explore all sorts of things through the restaurant. So I had seen, probably on TV somewhere, a roller skating waitress, and promptly put on my roller skates to be my mom's roller skating waitress.
Adding value to the business, even as a small child.
I knew my place in life.
Adding value.
How old were you? 8, 10, 12?
I was probably 8 or 9 when that happened, but I think that probably also set me up for just having a lot of interest and curiosity in all of the jobs and having lots of experiences. So if I just wanted to know how something worked, or if I was interested in something, I just tried it, which was really nice to be able to grow up that way.
What does curiosity mean to you, Rock?
Ooh, similar to what Jen said, I think it's been a core trait of mine or value of mine for a really long time. We did that previous episode where we, kind of dove into my powers, and I was always, as a kid, the investigator, the questioner, both good and bad. But for me, curiosity was always the way to unlock the secrets of the world and get to a better place. And I think it's just such a power, and it feels very comfortable for me to make that a value, because like a no-brainer. It's like, of course, if you ask questions, you're probably going to get yourself into a better space.
That's cool.
How about you?
I think we all align on curiosity so easily because it keeps you young and your life expanding, always evolving. I think about when I see aging people, I think about when their lives get narrow and small and they stop being curious, is when they like build these little shells around themselves, and it almost seems like they speed up their aging. And the people of the wiser generation than us that keep themselves expanding, whether it's through travel or learning or there's this really cool group of women that does a bunch of continuing education, and they go sit in and take a 6-week Spanish course, and they're, the oldest people in there by 4 decades. That's the kind of thing that I hope I'm doing when I'm in my 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah, and when we're talking about this, when we think about curiosity, I mentioned that there's the good and the bad, that it was seen for me as a kid. Like I could be a questioner in a great way, curious, which is positive, or you could be a questioner, an investigator, an interrogator in a bad way. And I think this is where the coupling of our values comes into such play, that curiosity with love leads it in the direction that we want it to be led in. Curiosity by itself is kind of this floating, open for interpretation value. And so when we couple it, we have the ability to get even more defined.
I think why we aligned on it so much, the people we hire, we hire through this lens, we look for tenants through this lens, we hold each other to these standards through this lens. I think it's hard to hate through this lens, but
I think something that we talked about was why it was so important that we even had this conversation, right? Because this was something that was just always what we thought was the known in all of our conversations, right? Like we just say like, oh, love just existed. Of course we're curious. Of course we're tenacious. And it felt really important to define what those things were so that we knew exactly what we were talking about to our team. Like we knew what we were working towards for the three of us. That way we could then share that with our team and use those as guiding principles to help us achieve both the professional and personal development, right? That was something that was really, really important.
Yeah, like the emotions wheel that you brought up is like a key tool for us to ensure that we lead with love. We care about where every employee is coming from, where they're at that moment, and other examples like that.
Yeah, we're curious about the depth of that emotion. So something that we let each other and we hope the team does is they fail and they learn to move through that discomfort. They learn how to problem solve. They learn how to be resourceful, and then be able to create that wheel for someone else, right? That cycle for someone else.
I was actually just thinking that today we had a little hiccup with the microphone, and the application of the values is so key that, of course, the person who had forgotten to check the mics before did not need someone to tell her, yo, this you missed the mic situation. She didn't need that, right? And in order to not come at it like that, we still had to solve the problem, but there's no blame involved because, fuck it, shit happens, man. And having the love and the knowledge of your people to know, well, this personality in particular is going to be way harder on herself. We do not need to give her any feedback. I mean, she already knows. She already knows that he already knows.
Yeah. And I think like I said, we could have landed on any other values, right? These ones really spoke to us because I think they also really aligned with our vision for the type of team we wanted to build.
You can't see me, but I'm putting my finger on my nose as
right.
a bingo.
Right. Something that we always say, and I think I've said it 20 times now, we want people to be able to show up as themselves, right? So we didn't want to create I want an efficient worker and a hard worker and someone who cares. We wanted people to be able to show their love, their curiosity, their tenacity in however they express that. But we knew what we needed to match up on is the ultimate goal, which are those three things.
I think you saying we could have come up with any words is so true for anybody listening, right? Your company is your unique personality, and it will have 3 different words or 2 different words. But the key of what you can't do, going back to the truth seeking, is you can't choose values that are removed from your core personality as an entrepreneur. If we had chosen something other than curiosity because that was a buzzword or that was something that we were told was a good behavior or value, we couldn't have the ability to uphold it. It wouldn't be possible for us because we don't have it at our core. And this is the beauty, I think, of us, the three of us coming together and the three of us being aware of that and choosing these together and fighting for, 16 hours on it and being in confusion with it for 8 years, is that now there is no barrier for us to be able to apply them because we are naturally going to do it in our management style for our team. And this is a topic I would love for us to dive into a little bit more, is actually like, how do we apply the culture and how do we craft that culture using these values? Because that's the team development, the cohesion, all of that stuff. But I mean, I think that's really pretty important to note. You can't just make up shit and call it your value.
I heard someone wise once told me.
Was it me?
It was Lorraine, right? She will be on this podcast soon. One of my mentors. And she said, you better be part of creating the culture because it's there no matter what. So if you're not going to help create it, you're leaving that up to someone else, essentially.
Yeah, and imagine, we've got almost 10 people now. 10 people with 10 different personalities, 10 different background stories, 10 different versions of their own values coming together without any lens to be able to put onto that. What would happen? Mm-hmm. It could be anything.
It's it's confusing, right? Mm-hmm. It gives these values give guide rails for people to operate in.
And everybody loves clarity.
Right. And it's even from a place of, okay, I have a upset customer at the Pilates studio. What am I going to do? Okay, I know that I can operate in love. Yelling back at them is probably not the direction we're going to go, but also holding firm and then working in that, asking a lot of questions, because when people feel heard, they usually de-escalate, right? So as soon as we can hear them, understand them, see them, then that probably shifts that argument or
let's have Jen back.
Things.
Let's have Jen back on a part 2. On
How
a
do we
part
do
2
this?
of this. I have no idea.
I'm not culture.
We hired great people who can answer those questions for us. I just know that I'm like, yes, let's do more of it. Let's dive into how we can apply it, how we can create that cohesion, how we do it at Maven is a good example, so that everyone who's listening can, take some of those little nuggets and get them away. Because I absolutely love us chatting about how we feel and that background story. But I think it'll, now that they have the story, be able to give them some really good context.
Yeah, because ultimately I think every business out there needs to have their own zhuzh, right? And values give your own zhuzh, your culture, your what's that intangible piece. But now we've made it a bit tangible with these words that we live by.
I love all of that. I love hearing our stories. I'm excited to see it applied. So Jen, even though I'm going to thank you for being here, I am going to simultaneously invite you back.
I would love to come back.
Yay.
Thank you.
Okay, good, because Tessa was worried she might say no.
I mean, she technically could have.
Actually, no. You would be here by force.
I'm feeling very conflicted right now, but I will be here. Send me a calendar invite.
Use that emotions wheel. Thank you guys very much for taking the time to listen to this, and I'm thrilled that you guys have the opportunity to meet Jen. She's special to Tessa. She's special to me. She's special to all of our girls. And if you can already get the little taste that she's constantly bringing nuggets of wisdom far beyond her age, she's going to continue dropping those on the next one. So we've done this a hot few minutes now, the whole podcast thing, and I think I could use some feedback. So if you guys can let us know what you think about our first few episodes, we would really appreciate it. We're here to get better. We're here to keep growing. We're curious about your thoughts. You can head to our Geneva profile. It's linked in our description. You can follow us on Instagram at maven.community. And we are just excited to have you join our digital community. And please also give us a little rating, because there ain't no feedback better than a 5-star. 5-star. Only 5 stars will be accepted. Just kidding. That's not how we function here. We will be curious to hear your feedback. And Tessa, where are we going to go next?
Well, we're going to have a part 2 with Jen. We want to hear more. Because really, we didn't get to dive into, now that we've got these values, we want to, how do we apply them to our culture in a tangible way for other people out there building their businesses alongside with us?
Jen's going to give us all the answers.
Yeah.
No
Thank you,
pressure.
Jen.
Oh, the pressure.
No pressure.
We love you. Thank you for listening.
Love you, partner.
Love you, partner.
Love you, Jen.
Love you guys.
Touching. Bye.
I was unprepared for this. I didn't bring my feelings wheel.